J.A. of North Louisiana chose this son to represent its Hall of Fame. The sun means power, energy, strength, inspiration. The first of our 1994 Hall of Fame inductees was chosen for those qualities and more. Rick Rowe profiles a man who started small in the oil business in 1957. Meet John Franks.
I didn't know we were poor, but we were extremely.
His beginnings were, to put it politely, humble. One of 7 kids in the Franks family, John was the youngest and fastest. He was a track and field star at Houghton High School and later at LSU, where in 1949, after a brief stint in the Air Force, John graduated with a degree in geology. The next year, he went to work for Mid-States Oil in Shreveport. Few realized it at the time, but the oil and gas business here would never be the same. This city would never be the same. And neither would Alta.
My sister knew him, and when he came that day, I thought, why would anybody get excited about him? Well, I learned real quickly that he was a wonderful man.
He popped me one time on my leg because I was acting up, and my mother says that I turned around and told him in childish words, the next time I bees bad, would you hit me on the other leg? I have a bruise on this one. And she said he cried.
It was unbelievable, to tell you the truth, to be around a well when you have been responsible for picking the location and watching them stake the location and move in the rig and drill it. I thought, well, we finally won't have to worry about paydays. And that was my start, and from there, we continued to drill throughout North Louisiana and East Texas and Mississippi and a little in Montana.
We'd be out on those wells at night, and he could lay down in the doghouse, the old metal doghouse, and in 2 seconds, be sound asleep. He could lay down any place. Up here at the track, in his suite, about the 5th race, he'll go over on the couch, and he may have 20 people in the suite. He'll lay down, take a nap, go sound asleep.
He knew absolutely nothing about thoroughbred horses, and that was a happenstance.
And I decided at that point that I needed to do something different from the oil business. That's all I'd ever done was just oil, and just think that. And so
I'm going to really enjoy life now and put a little of the oil business aside, never dreaming that it would become as large and as all-consuming as the oil business had. But that's his nature.
Because of his competitive nature of the man, he wouldn't be satisfied with second best.
And those horses to me were like my children out there. You know, I didn't have any boys playing football or girls playing basketball. So that horse was just like an extension of me and as an athlete, and I loved athletics. So I ended up getting overly enthused about it.
And accepting the award for Outstanding Owner is John Franks.
To win the Eclipse Award as many times as he has is fantastic. I had no idea that things would, you know, and I don't think Mrs. Franks had any idea either that things would progress as fast and as far as they went, but they have.
I think I heard a comment made the other day, if he'd sell 2 a day for the next 2 years, he'd get it down to where he could handle it.
The people in the Jockey Club in Hot Springs, Arkansas, they feel, and they do not pay much attention to other owners. They feel like John Franks is their friend. He speaks to everybody. It's just that there's not a pretentious bone in the man's body. He's just John Franks. Grew up at Houghton.
Like, I would spend the night. I used to spend the night all the time. And we used to kick him out, and I would sleep with my grandmother, and he would have to go to the back room. But anyway, so we would wake up, and he would have to have his coffee in the morning, and we would, like, put our big coats on and stuff, and get garbage bags, and just go slide down the hill. It was fun.
He's the patriarch. I kiddingly call him the Godfather because everyone in the family looks to him, and he just has that aura about him that if you need something, you go to Daddy or you go to John.
Strong, smart, very smart, very kind, extremely so. He's got a heart as big as this whole place out here. Sure, he's a tough businessman, but he is so kind, and he really cares for people.
John is an amazingly gentle soul, a quite astute businessman who came from modest beginnings, was not afraid of hard work or risks, and parlayed his considerable wisdom into quite a fortune, and now shares that with every agency, every deserving agency in Shreveport and Bossier.
I haven't seen him turn very many people away that need help, and you hear so many people go to him when they need help, whether it's advice, monetary, whatever. But the compassion, I see him sit watching a movie and he cries. He's just, this heart, I think, is the center of his entire being.
He's very kind. He's very compassionate. He's very loving. He's very giving. And I love him.
People who were nearing the end of their lives, the one question that they asked themselves was not, have I achieved fame or fortune, but have I done enough for my fellow man? And I think that as John Franks comes towards the end of his life, many years from now, he will be able to, when he asks himself that question, answer with a resounding yes, that he really has done a huge amount for mankind, for his community. And I think that when he meets his Maker, that the Lord will say, well done, thy good and faithful servant.
Do you feel blessed? You feel fortunate?
Very, extremely. I couldn't and wouldn't change one thing, I don't believe, in my life. I feel very blessed.
During the 1993-94 school year, J.A. reached a record 4,000 students in Caddo, Bossier, and Ouachita parishes. Over 200 business people shared their time and energy to get the J.A. message out. Our second laureate is a man who is a living example of the J.A. philosophy. As Rick Rowe tells us, Sam Peters has proven you can do good by doing well.
In 1919, my mother entered me in the baby competition at the Louisiana State Fair.
Prettiest baby?
There were 3 babies, and I won 3rd prize.
What does that say?
You know you must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been.
No, Sam Peters wasn't going to win any beauty contest, but even as a youngster, he knew how to dress, and he knew how to play. By the time he was in college, Sam was quite the musician. In fact, when Mr. Centenary graduated in 1939, he came very close to choosing a career as a musician. Sam loved to play the sax and the clarinet. Instead, at the age of 20, Sam Peters went to work for the Coca-Cola Bottling Company, first as a traveling auditor, then later as a broker of bottling plants, buying low and hopefully selling high. Sam was so good at it, he decided to go it alone, formed his own company, and sold a lot of Coke.
I'll have to estimate, but I would say that I've done probably over 100. I know in 1986 I did eight or nine in 86. That was my last big year. I did $500 million worth of plants in that one year.
By the mid-'80s, Sam was a very wealthy man, had himself a place in Florida and a boat.
You call this the one more time?
One more time.
And an opportunity to lay back and reap the rewards of a very successful career.
I mean, you really don't have to do a darn thing
That's
from
right.
now on.
That's right.
So why don't you?
Well, I'd rust out. See?
Not one to let the grass grow under his feet, Sam Peters set out to do something. Donald Webb, then president of Centenary College, had a suggestion.
And then I had this crazy idea of starting a Jack London Research Center. Mentioned it to him at lunch and talked in terms of $25 maybe, or $200 maybe. And as we got excited about this and the years went by, he eventually built and endowed the Jack London Center.
This place would not exist, this particular facility, which we're very proud of, would not exist at all if it weren't for Sam Peters. It's that simple.
He gave us this building, but he didn't just give us the building and walk off from it and say, there, that's done. He's back here and forth, he's on the board, he helps us, he's wonderful.
He's the kind of guy that you want on your team, okay? He's a great team player, he's a great team leader, and he's a great man.
A lot of people have discovered that about Sam Peters. In addition to his efforts on behalf of his alma mater, Sam has contributed to a whole host of good causes. The Shreveport Symphony, the Methodist Church, the Buckhalter Hotel for Drug and Alcohol Abuse, Live Oak Retirement Community, and Sam's most recent project, the Pioneer Home for the Kids at Holy Angels, a $1 million undertaking that the sisters and everybody else involved just knew would take years.
My thought was 3 years. Well, after we gave Sam a tour of the nursery and he's holding one of these children, he tells one of the parents or one of the nurses, he said, I'm going to tell you that by the end of Christmas, by the end of next year, Christmas, this building will be built.
Couldn't believe it. Deep in my heart, I said, this never will be done, in a short time like this.
We're not going to ask for a lot of money from people, but
Sam rolled up his sleeves, slapped a few backs, twisted a few arms, chipped in some money of his own, and got all fired up.
They have approved that plan right there, the floor plan, the building. They have approved the architect. They have approved us starting this building on June the 1st.
Sam is enthusiastic about everything. He embraces causes with great enthusiasm and achieves results because of his enthusiasm. It takes a little while to get to know Sam, but once you get to know him, you love him.
We'll do it. The people of Shreveport will get behind this project.
I see him in action, you know, take up something small and win us all to the point. Bit of a bulldog, but a handsome bulldog, a pleasant bulldog. Well, you don't mind yielding to that bulldog.
So that's what we're here for. And
sure enough, just as he so boldly predicted, the Pioneer Home is currently under construction with dedication set for December 23rd. Sam had done it again.
The day of completion, December the 23rd. No, this is a reality. It's a dream, it's a miracle, and we thank him so dearly.
He did what he said he was going to do. He keeps his promises.
He does miraculous things in very short periods of time, and you don't really know how he does it.
I guess, you know, even apart from his brilliance as an entrepreneur and his generosity as a philanthropist, is just the sheer goodwill and cheerfulness and optimism of the man. He's upbeat, and we need upbeat people. He's a good guy. One of the greats.
To us, he's Holy Angel's big guardian angel. Right? No one else, I cannot think of another person that has made such an impact, such a difference in our lives and in the lives of so many other children.
I don't do it for me. Look, I'll just get more calls for money, and I'll get more calls for working on campaigns. But I do know this: if you're blessed, you ought to put back something into this life. We'll feel useful, we'll feel like we're doing some good for humanity, and we'll have a happy, joyful time.
He's a dreamer, but his dream come true.